I was hoping that this would happen. Actually, man, I'm not gonna say that I knew it was gonna happen, but I was hoping that it would happen, man. That these two guys, Grant Hill and Jason Kidd, they came into the NBA together, 1994-95 season, were the co-rookie of the year winners. Both took the league by storm. I can just remember now the inside, what was that show called? I think Inside Stuff with Ahmad Rashad, and at the time I think Willow Bay, and I remember them doing a little piece on Grant Hill and Jason Kidd, the rookies, and now both of them no longer in the league. Uh, but I remember Grant Hill, amazing, a LeBron-like player, arguably the best player in the league, even when Jordan was playing that second stint with Chicago. I think Jordan still was a little bit better, but Grant Hill was a phenomenal player, man. I remember in the All-Star voting, All-Star games, he was out-polling everybody, even Jordan. But Jason Kidd was not shabby, man. I mean, Jason Kidd was the type of point guard that I prefer. I know it's fun to watch a point guard, take 30 shots and whatever, but I like the pure point guard position. I like guys like the Bob Cousy's and the Magic Johnson. Magic could score, but I like the pass first guys. The people had the pass first mentality, and Jason Kidd was the epitome of that. He was a triple double waiting to happen. I believe he finished with 100 and was it 8 career triple doubles. He was phenomenal. He was a fantastic rebounder for his size and position. There's a guy who's a 6'4" point guard and had seasons, I think, averaging maybe 7 or close to 8 rebounds a game, or maybe 8 rebounds. And I remember the one knock on him when he first came to the league, especially, was that he was not a good shooter. Matter of fact, it was like his name should be Asen Kid because he doesn't have a J, whatever. But he worked on his 3-point shot, and he wound up in being like, I think he's like something like 3rd or 4th all time in 3-point field goals made. I think he shot for his career like 34%, 35% for threes. A respectable percentage considering that he was not a very good shooter when he started. He was a good all-around player. Watching him on the break, it's amazing, man. 10 years ago right now, he was in his prime, or damn near. No, he was pretty much in his prime, I'd say. 30 years old, and his Nets were going to their second finals appearance in 2 years, the second consecutive finals appearance, going against the San Antonio Spurs, who was heavily favored. Another guy, Tim Duncan, who was definitely in his prime then. And it just wasn't meant to be for the Nets, man. The Western Conference was just too loaded back then. And, now Jason Kidd, he decided to call it quits. But, I used to be a little sad, particularly a couple years ago when a lot of the guys that I knew growing up were retiring. But that's just life, Out with the old, in with the new. You give pause, respect, remember these guys, and then you have to embrace the new guys coming into the league. But I just am a little bit melancholy at the fact that Jason Kidd was the epitome of unselfishness. And if you, I remember listening to Bruce Blitz's video recently when he was citing that Phil Jackson was saying that it was a growing mentality in the league for selfishness and all about me mentality and attitude. And you can see it in the NBA product. The NBA product over the last really decade, but the NBA product over the last 5 or 6 years really, in my eyes, in my estimation at least, has really declined. It's become more of a street ball type game, and I'm used to looking at team play with individual stars shining at times, but I don't like this. New York Knicks are the epitome of this, man. I don't like this one or two guys get the ball, ISO, everybody else just stand and watch. I can't stand that shit, man. You know, Michael Jordan, you know, yes, he was brilliant, but Michael Jordan, when he scored, he didn't just sit up there and hold the ball for 10 seconds and then go into his move. You know what I mean? He was an efficient, quick scorer. When he saw the ball, when he saw the double team coming, he quickly moved from the double team and shot, and then created his shot or went for his jump shots, whatever. These guys nowadays, I don't know. I'm not gonna go into one of my old man fits, but Jason Kidd, I don't know, man. I just remember him coming in with Dallas. This is when Dallas Mavericks really were a struggling franchise, and it was him, Jimmy Jackson, Jamal Mashburn. I remember that year Roy Tarpley came back out of retirement, not out of retirement, out of actually being banned from the NBA, and then he quickly got back into the same situation. I think he's been banned for life, but that situation didn't work out, and then he went to the Phoenix Suns. And that situation didn't quite work out, and then he went to the Nets, I believe, and that's where Jason Kidd truly shined as an NBA player with the Nets, and that's when he had his prime years. I remember that team, Jason Kidd. I believe Kerry Kittles may have been in that team at the beginning before he retired because of injury issues. A young, healthy, in his prime, Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson. I'm trying to remember other people. Dikembe Mutombo was on that team. Jason Collins. Yeah, that Jason Collins that recently came out. Rodney Rogers, who had that unfortunate incident after he retired, and Brian Scalabrine, the greatest player of all time. You know, so it was a pretty good team, man. But Jason Kidd elevated everybody's play. He made everybody better, knew where certain players should get their shots to make them more effective. He was just an excellent all-around point guard. And, you know, over the past 19 years in the NBA, you know, his achievements have been remarkable. I believe he is second all-time in the NBA in steals. He surpassed Michael Jordan in that category. I believe it was last year he did that. He has 2,684 steals. I'm on Basketball Reference right now. 2,684 steals, second all time. He amassed 17,529 points, pulled down 8,725 rebounds, which is amazing for a point guard. 12,091 assists for his career. He was a 79% free throw shooter. I had thought he was about 35%, 34.9% career three-point shooter. The one knock on Jason Kidd, is that he did have a very low career field goal percentage. That you know, he never was a guy who shot the ball particularly well overall. For per game averages, he averaged 12.6 points, 6.3 rebounds, 8.7 assists, 1.9 steals. But if you look at him in his prime, let's go back to 2003. He had a season where he averaged, so you know, 'cause a lot of times these numbers aren't indicative of their peak performance averages. You know, you can kind of maybe shave off the last 6 seasons to get a better representative number of what he was in his prime. I'll go to 10 years ago when he averaged 18.7 points, 6.3 rebounds, 8.9 assists, which led the league. This is also before a lot of the rule changes that happened to help a lot of individual players in the perimeter, such as a guy like Steve Nash. Not taking anything away from him, but you do notice after the rule changes, he just sort of became like another type of dimension point guard. But Jason Kidd, he led the NBA in assists 5 times, 3 consecutively from 1998-99 season to the 2000-2001 season. And then again from 2002, 2003 to 2003, 2004. So Jason Kidd was a very great all-around player. He was a remarkably healthy player for most of his career, appearing in 1,391 NBA contests in the regular season. In the postseason, Jason Kidd averaged 12.9 points, 6.7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1.9 steals, 39% shooting from the field. Once again, that was not his forte, shooting the basketball. 32% from three-pointers, 78% from the foul line. I'll go back to 2002-2003 season, was more indicative of his prime when he was about 29 years old. And that postseason, he averaged 20.1 points, 7.7 rebounds, 8.2 assists, 1.8 steals on 40% shooting from the field, 33% shooting from the three-point line, and 83% from the foul line. So this is a guy in his prime who will give you a good 18 to 20 points per game, 6 to 8 rebounds per game on average, and 8 to 10 assists per game. So this was a great all-around talent. I haven't really gone to my point guards yet, but he's up there when it comes to top 10 point guards on my list and on everybody's list as far as top 50 players. He's definitely like a top 40 to 45 guy. Maybe he's gone up since then, But this guy, Jason Kidd, is a great all-around player. It was a pleasure watching you, Mr. Kidd. And I wish you the best in your future endeavors. And to everyone listening, thank you for listening. Have a good day.